Hey, Gender and Communication. Welcome to week 6. I am making this quick little video to talk to you about the way that this week is a little different than the weeks that we've had before. So you've been doing content and then you do a discussion related. You read the chapter, you do a discussion about the chapter, you reply to the chapter, and then you take a quiz and you do a written assignment. Well, this week you're not going to do any reading. It's kind of like a review and recap kind of week, and to ask you to kind of apply it. So there's no like content modules or pages for this week, and there's no reading for this week. But what you're going to do instead, it's going to take up the same amount of time basically, is you are going to finish working on that research paper that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks, and you're also going to take a midterm, and then as a part of the research paper process, you are going to, oh, we don't need your help. That's trouble. Apparently she's my assistant today. As part of the research paper, you are going to participate in a peer review. So that's going to be your discussion. So again, no content for this week. And the idea is you take the information that you learned throughout the course of the last month of class, and then you apply it to, and you show me that you understand. So if we go ahead and have a look in here in the modules, that's why I have the student view of this module set up. And you can see this is what's due, just these 3 items: the peer review, the research paper, the midterm. The peer reviews are due, your first post is due on Wednesday. You're going to submit a draft to that module, and then your replies to that, you'll all review a couple papers, and those will be due Friday, just like a regular discussion. It's just a little different way of doing a discussion, and the module's a little bit different. And then your final paper is going to be submitted to this one, the research paper, and it's pretty important that you make sure your draft goes to the peer review. We can fix it. It's not in. It's just going to slow you down if you submit it to the wrong place. It's not the end of the world. Nothing horrible is going to happen, but it will slow you down. And then Canvas will get cranky with you because it'll think you didn't turn the assignment in, and you did. You just put it in the wrong place. So if I'm hoping that when I click on this, it's going to work. I'm going to show you how to do this peer review. So make sure you read all the directions, and you've selected a research paper prompt. Hopefully you've started that. I graded, or I've already read most of the, well, I already read all the ones that were submitted, the preparation assignments. So hopefully you're starting to write your paper, and this is your first draft, and it says that in here. You know, it's not going to be perfect. You should have a couple pages of writing. I would say 1.5 to 2 pages, and then it's going to have some problems. That's okay. The more it's done, the more you're probably going to get out of the peer review. But if you just need to turn in something because it's just not quite, it's still not quite ready, it's supposed to be a draft. So let that kind of stuff go. But your peers are going to give you more feedback. And I do think it's more helpful if your draft is a little bit further along than if it was just like the first thing that came out of your head. Typically, you're going to get more out of reviewing something that's a little bit further along. So, and then to close that loop, your peers are going to look at your paper and they are going to review them. So I also have a little note on here about giving good feedback. I am going to reiterate what it says, which is that the purpose is to give constructive criticism. So compliments, being nice, suggestions, and like critique. Those are some of the things that you want to get in there. Like, actually tell people, hey, this didn't make sense to me. I'm going to say when you get that feedback, make sure that the feedback makes sense, because once in a while somebody will kind of foul the whole thing up by actually giving the wrong information. So one thing that happens once in a while, somebody misinterpreted the assignment prompt. I don't think that's going to happen as much with this paper because you did all turn in the preparation assignment. So make sure, like, if you get some conflicting feedback based on your own understanding, I would 1, reread the assignment guide, and then 2, email me so that you make sure you did it correctly. Because you want to make sure that you, like, if you selected, once in a while somebody will just not quite get the purpose of especially that first option of this paper. So you want to make sure you got the right purpose. And so you give the feedback, and then to submit this, so it's got 2 steps. You go to the submit just like you would on any other paper. You attach your file, and then I can't actually show you, unfortunately, because I don't have a stack of papers. But then you have to go back into that same. So what's going to happen? Let me back up. you submit your file here by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. And then I'm going to set it so that it will probably assign all the peer reviews like around 1 or 2 Wednesday morning, or Thursday morning rather. So Canvas will automatically match up all the students who submitted their peer review, and it will give you a couple papers to read. So you actually have to go back into this assignment module, and there is a little button on here that says peer review. I'll try to send you, if you need help, email me, because once people actually submit papers, then I could show you a screen cap. I just can't do that until there's papers in there, if that makes sense, because there's nothing to look at yet. So you go back into the same assignment, and then it's going to tell you, okay, I need to read these 2 papers, and then what you're going to do is download that file and read it. I would prefer if you like you made some comments on the file, and then you're gonna re-upload it and then also provide feedback in that comment section. So I want you to both write on the paper and write a comment. Do not just write a comment. You will not get full credit if you don't also write something on the paper. So make sure you do that, and then you do that for 2 papers. They'll probably take you 10 to 15 minutes each. They might be a little faster than that depending on how long they are, and then you submit them both to back here. When you get there, you'll see the place where it says like, here's me writing up my comments, and then Canvas is really good about telling me who actually did theirs and who's missing some. So also keep in mind that if you don't submit your assignment on time on Wednesday, then on Wednesday night, it's due 11:59, then that is going to create some logistical issues for you that you're going to need to talk to me about, because I can resolve them, but there's like a time lag. So if you do that, you're giving yourself less time to do all of it basically. And again, you're just making, because I have to do it manually. So, and that takes time. It's asynchronous, right? So it's a really useful process, and I think that what happens with the peer review is, I'm not so worried about the mechanics. I mean, I would like it if you helped people with that, but what happens mostly with the peer review is you help each other sort out your ideas. If something doesn't make sense to you, then say that. I mean, I just read your preparation assignments and they were pretty good, but there was a couple of them that I gave feedback that I said, I don't really quite, your ideas aren't clear. It's not really like you're not talking about gender, or you're not specific enough, or even just it didn't quite make sense. It's okay to nicely say that, because people need to know that this is essentially a credit, no credit assignment as long as you do the whole thing. So those are just some things to keep in mind about the peer review, and I hope that it goes smoothly for you. Thanks.